and welcome back to Political Predictions. And as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about how Democrats are skyrocketing across the nation and how Trump is starting to falter. So, as you can see here, this is Donald Trump's approval rating for his second term in the office of the presidency. As you can see, he started out with a plus 6.2%, and he has slowly been diminishing, and now he is at minus 5.5. So, more than 12% of the nation has already flipped from approving Donald Trump to disapproving Donald Trump. So it is clear more people are now starting to disapprove him than approve him. People are starting to dislike him more and more as his presidency goes on. And this is very, very problematic for Republicans because just a few months ago, we were talking about how 2026, it might be impossible for Democrats to win the Senate or the House because of how favorable the map is towards Republicans. However, now as we're starting to see Donald Trump get more and more or less and less popular, we're starting to see Democrats might have a chance in 2026. Democrats might have a chance in 2028. And the political landscape might flip back and swing back to the Democrats in the next coming years. This is better shown in the results in Wisconsin a couple weeks ago, where Susan Crawford, who was a liberal-leaning state Supreme Court against the conservative-leaning Brad Schimmel. So it was a close race. Elon Musk invested so much money in this to try to get Brad Schimmel to win, who's the more conservative candidate. And as you can see here, Susan Crawford won by 10.2%, and this is in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, a state that voted for Trump by 0.8 or 0.9%, this is an 11-point swing to the left. In just a couple months, this was in April, the beginning of April, so almost exactly 5 months later, 11% switched from Republican to Democrat. That is huge. Obviously, less people voted in this election, but that is still huge. As you can see here, this was a devastating defeat for Republicans. And then we can see in Florida's 1st and 6th congressional districts, Donald Trump won these districts by 30%. This was House special elections. Jimmy Petronis, the 1st district winner, won by 14. That's still a win for Republicans, but Republicans won by more than 30 in 2024. So that's a 15-point swing to the left in just 5 months. In Florida's 6th, Randy Fine won by 14, another about 15, 16-point swing to the left. Three huge wins for Democrats in these 3 states, because these 2 congressional districts were never going to go to Democrats, and everyone already knew that. However, this is not all bad for Democrats, because as you can see here, in Donald Trump's second term, he's only down by 5.5. However, in Donald Trump's first term, where we are right now in late April, Donald Trump was disapproved of by about 10. So he's doing 5% better than he was in his first term, but that is still not great because he is being disapproved of. But if we go to the 2018 midterms, we can see that back then, he was disapproved of by about 10. However, let's look at the Senate map. Republicans won 53 to 47. They actually picked up a seat from 2016. In 2016, Republicans only won 52-48. Republicans picked up a seat in a Trump midterm, which should go back to being Democratic. Usually when it's a Republican president, in their midterm, it will usually swing back to being Democrat and vice versa for Democrats and Republicans. That's just usually how it goes. However, this time, from 2016 to 2018, we saw Republicans pick up a seat, and that seat was Florida, which was swinging to the right. Rick Scott beat the Democrat by 0.1. It was very close. However, it's not like Democrats didn't have a chance to keep the Senate. As you can see here, we saw Ted Cruz almost got defeated by Beto O'Rourke. This was a huge race in 2018. Everyone was surprised that Beto O'Rourke might actually win the seat against Ted Cruz, and he almost did. He only lost by 2.6. In Missouri, Claire McCaskill could have won re-election here. In Indiana as well. I mean, these 2 were Democratic incumbents. We can see these 2. Democrats in 2012. 2018, they flipped back to being Republican. If Democrats won in Florida, Texas, Missouri, and Indiana, then they would have a majority. So it's not like this map was out of the question for it being a Democratic Senate map. However, Republicans still were able to pick up a seat in Florida. This was a huge win for them. And right now, as it stands, Donald Trump is viewed of by negative 5.5. In 2018, at the time of the midterms, Donald Trump was disapproved of by about 10%. So it's about a 5% swing. So if Donald Trump manages to keep his 5% disapproval rating, then maybe Republicans can actually pick up seats in the Senate. Maybe they'll actually be able to keep the House. So that'd be very big for Republicans. However, the trend seems to be favoring Democrats more and more because it has already been an 11-point swing to the left in just, how long has it been? About 3 or 4 months. About an 11-point swing. And he needs to hold this negative 5, negative 6, maybe even up to negative 10 or 11-point approval rating to be able to keep the House or the Senate. He needs to be able to do much better than this because if he continues to lose support, Donald Trump continues to lose support, Republicans continue to lose support, Democrats might be able to win the Senate, even though it's a very unfavorable map for them. Incredibly unfavorable. They need to flip 4 seats. It's 53-49. If it's 50-50, J.D. Vance breaks the tie. They need 51 seats. Democrats, it's very hard for them to win the Senate right now. However, it is possible if Republicans continue to slip. And we've seen in the economy, we've seen a lot of bad stuff going on in the stock market. If that continues, Democrats might have a chance, but otherwise it's going to be very difficult for Democrats to win the Senate. However, if this continues even right now, it seems very likely Democrats can win in 2028, and Democrats can win the House in 2026 and 2028. The Senate just seems a little bit out of the question right now. So thank you all for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded. It's been like 3 months. I don't have much time. I'm a little bit busy, but as summer starts to come, I will be able to upload a lot more. We're coming up on 1 year of this channel, which is crazy to think about. So thank you all for watching me, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.